Hello, my name is Apphia. I am 24 years old this year and I decided to start a side business called Whoaaa. So Whoaaa is a local accessory brand. We make all things quirky and handmade, local. I think the main driving force was because of circuit breaker. So I was just lying around looking in my room and I saw there are a lot of earrings. So I wanted to see how I can make everyday items around us into wearables, which is something that I think the market haven't really touched on, especially in Singapore. I think a lot of friends who know me personally, they'll know that I'm a very patriotic auntie. I'm secretly an auntie, but I really love going to mama shops, to the wet market, to just enjoy and soak in all the culture and heritage in Singapore. For example, when I go to the wet market with my mom, like all the fishmonger, they have the big baskets over there. And then I was just thinking, hey, it can be a small basket earring, right? And then I will slowly have all these ideas at the back of my head, and then I will look for suppliers or maybe attempt at making it on our own. So at the start, when we were playing with the idea of making it into a earring, right, we didn't want to invest in a stem yet. So we designed the header, Singapore earring shop, the phone, and then the fish, the prawn, something that all of us know. And then after a while, when we had a bit of sales, and then I realized, oh, it's something that people actually like. So then we made it into a stem to stem our zi boxes. So this is how the stem looks like. And then we fold the sides. I love folding this because it's quite therapeutic. It's like a mini zi box over like this. So it looks something like this after we put the ring and the earring hook, and then just hook it here. I wanted to create content that resonates with people, things that make them go wow, or literally whoa. I realized that maybe TikTok was a good platform, so I decided to just introduce it to my mom, and my mom just downloaded it. But then one day I decided to just lie beside her and look at what she's doing. And she told me, oh, look at what other small business owner they are doing. Maybe you should do it too. There's no harm, right? I mean, because I've always been using just Instagram. So I was just looking at what other people are doing, looking at hashtag like small business, how they are doing their videos, what are they going viral, what are they using, what sound are they using. So I try to incorporate everything. Over one night, I think we had 200k views, which was a lot for a small business. Technology has definitely shaped how consumers shop today. I remember my first ever blog shop purchase. It was a very old school way of transactions. So I have to go all the way down to the market to do an ATM transaction. Key in a bank account, key in the amount, print out the receipt, and take a picture, and then send it back to the business. So I think technology has made my work a lot easier in terms of getting new customers, having the payment method fixed, having had lessons like photography, we had illustration, graphic design. So it's a whole suite of tools that I know how to use, which really help shape the business. But I think more importantly, running a small business by yourself is a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, a lot of discipline, more importantly, especially since I'm doing it as a side hustle. I think sometimes when you have no sales, it can get very daunting. But at the end of the day, I think my followers, my customers ground me because they just remind me on the fact that I am doing this out of passion. I am empowering lives. Sounds super noble, but it's true because some customers actually come back to us and tell me how they are an introvert, they relate to my story because as an introvert themselves, they wear such quirky earrings to bring their character out, what earrings make them happy, how our earrings have changed their lives, which is something that I hold very closely to my heart. I saw the importance of putting myself out there, but as an introvert, it's always very hard. I always have this barrier built around me, and meeting people for the first time it's very stressful. But when I was in poly, I started wearing those hoop earrings, and somehow it just makes me feel a bit more confident about myself. I'm wearing something that gives me power. I would describe myself as someone who is very self-discipline driven. I wanted to do more with my time. I was working a full-time job, I was busy, But essentially, I think having the flexibility to run my own business, to have the creativity, just gives me an opportunity to explore what I'm good at. And I think that is something that a lot of Gen Z individuals also look for. And I think it is something that I find a lot of joy and fulfillment to know that, like, at the end of the day, even though I have a full-time job, I have a side hustle. I am earning money and I'm empowering individuals, I'm making people smile, and that just makes everything very wholesome. And I think as a Gen Z, it's very fulfilling to know that I have a say, I have a voice,